We get it. They go out, they do the business, they come right back. Even the little one, that's usually pretty gross. Like, birthday. Where's the meeting? The older, yeah. Okay. I mean, we were on Bartlett's side, she had that huge tumor end up there.
6 p.m. here at the. Good evening. This is the Board of Selectmen regular meeting, Monday, February 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Town Hall, 108 Main Street, Falls Village, Connecticut, in person and in Zoom. I have two additions to the agenda, two late entries, if you will. And I will give them to you first. I would like to put in on the Selectmen's Report 7F. The extension on funds for the Cobble Road Culvert Project. Make a motion to add that to the agenda. And I'd also like to add under 10E, under new business, setting a date for a public hearing . 107 Main Street rental property. Pursuant to Connecticut General Statute 7-163E. All in favor? Public hearing is required before a municipality sells, leases, or transfers any of its real property. Public comment? Well, I was going to call upon you, Mr. Timmerline, for the public comment.
I'm here because you suggested I show up to explain my letter of resignation to be in effect at the adjournment of the April meeting of the Torrington Area Health District. At that time, I am hoping that you will have appointed Eli Horowitz to replace me, so that will occur at the time of my resignation, which will be an instant changeover. I have, in the letter to you, have recommended him as my replacement. When you and I spoke to him a while back, I spoke to him and invited him to come to several meetings to see what he would think of it and what he would think of becoming a member. And he did come to a number of meetings, including committee meetings at the district. I'm the chairman of the finance committee, and he came to both the committee meetings, which drag on sometimes, and the full meetings. And in addition, in my letter, I indicated to you that on his own initiative, he met with the Director of Health, Rob Rubo, and the current chairman of the board to get his own insights. And I think he subsequently became very interested in that, which is not surprising because his profession, he's in the medical profession as an emergency room nurse at Charlotte Hungerford. So he's also in tune with some of the health issues that have become part of the expanded role of the health district. Years ago, when I was sanitarian, it was pretty much technical, with a few things like lead investigation and so forth. It's almost expanded to there's almost clinical activity I would never have dreamed 20 years ago that a public health entity that was originally mainly technical would be worrying about and having to deal with youth suicide, with alcohol and drug prevention, with homelessness, with a number of pathological conditions in society that is worrisome, one thing, but that is attended to with a much expanded role. I think Eli is the perfect man for that. And while I'm at it, I would point out that the district has not changed its per capita tax rate in 11 years. Considering the expanded role of what's being done there, that's unusual to say the least. Again, I hope you will appoint Eli, and I hope you will make it concurrent with my resignation. As I indicated in my letter, that would enable him to be welcomed as a board member at the conclusion of that meeting and welcomed by his colleagues, his new colleagues on that board, which I think is a significant and useful gesture. Do you have any questions?
No, but first I want to say, Mr. Timolot, that the selection of Mr. Horowitz, who is eminently qualified to be in this position because of the changing nature of the Torrington Health District, I think was a wonderful move. And second, I would like to thank you for your service. We will be a little bit more articulate at a later time in thanking you for your service.
Not necessary.
I believe it is. This was supposed to be a temporary job for a year or two, and it lasted 20 years. I think that's laudable. But
I didn't know what I was getting into when Mr. Lawson made me go to Southern Connecticut State to take courses to be qualified for the town sanitarium. If I had known, I probably wouldn't have done it. But
well,
thanks, and I'm glad having done it that I did it, even though I wouldn't have if I had known.
thank you very much. And again, we really do appreciate it. I wanted the opportunity to tell you here in a public forum, and once again, we will do it at a later time. Thank you very, very much for your service in that temporary position for 20 years. And that, again, your service to this town has been unmeasurable. And we do appreciate it. And I believe this is worth mentioning that to the best of my knowledge, this is the only time that there has ever been a transition from one commissioner, if you will, to another commissioner in the Torrington Area Health District history. So I think that speaks volumes.
When you hold an office that you feel has some important function, you have a responsibility to find your replacement.
Thank you very much. And I believe I hear Carol calling now.
I have a skirt stain.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other public comment this evening? Anyone, Patty, on soup? Okay, I'll go to the approval of the minutes, and I'll take each of the minutes one by one for approval. I'll take a motion to approve the January 12th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Discussion?
Treasurer and tax collector reports, motion did carry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, I didn't notice those.
Yes.
So, yeah, so, oh, I really did not, yes.
Correct.
Item H, town hall, under. Selectmen's updates. Was town hall meeting scheduled funding for a cobble road bridge study should have said service professional service agreement for the salt shed and the water oil separator.
Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Professional service agreement PSA. And that would be for the salt shed and water oil separator at the town garage. Under G, I'm not sure if it's right or not, but, youth food center. Chief Robert Carberry,
Yeah,
firefighter Elizabeth Clippo, completed the state fire investigation class and youth fire setter course.
That's correct.
That's correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So,
Because I only got two.
That's good.
That one's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would have called it something else.
something else.
Yeah.
That's what was relayed to us.
Item 10, discussion under, Bridge and Infrastructure Committee, Selectman Kinsella. I haven't met yet with Cardinal Engineering. I just kind of, echoing what Dave had mentioned, that we will be meeting with, Cardinal Engineering.
where are we on that?
It's on, discussion, item 10, 1. All right, that's, after new business is 9. Discussion is 10, and item 1 under.
Okay, so what was the amendment?
I haven't yet. So I was echoing what Dave said in his report about, us meeting for a joint meeting with the Board of Finance, to hear their data points for
Presentation.
You can leave it the document.
Yeah, they're professional. Yeah, I guess not a PSA yet, it's just the
Presentation.
So how do you want me to change it?
Yeah.
Selectman Kinsella met with Cardinal Engineering. Did not meet.
We'll be meeting.
Will meet.
Be meeting.
Okay, I got you.
Just received an email when I got in here at 5 after 5. Check my emails. Okay. We're probably looking at mid-March, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Any others?
No, that was all.
Isn't that enough, Judy? Yeah.
Do you have any?
But
Okay.
I did notice that. We need a motion to.
Accept the amendments.
The minutes with the amendments or
Motion to accept the amendments.
So moved.
second?
All in favor? So the January 12th, we have it on the floor, January 12th, 2026, regular meeting minutes with the amendments now, with the amendment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. January 20th, 2026, special meeting minutes. I'll take a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
January 28th, 2026, special meeting minutes. I'll take a motion to accept those.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? The February 4th, 2026, special meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on, treasurer and tax collectors report, December 2025 treasurer's report. I shouldn't call it a treasurer's report anymore. I should call it the treasurer's count.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of reading.
Take a motion to receive the December 2025 treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So the vote's not unanimous.
But it did pass.
The January 2026 tax collectors report. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Moving on to number 6, written communication. I have 2 things. I believe I shared both of them with the first selectman, the letter that we received from Guy Ravesi upon his retirement from NCCF. Very nice letter was written back. I'll include that, but he thanked us for the letter and looks forward to helping the town in the years to come in some capacity, hopefully. So, very, very nice letter. It was a pleasure to live here and be part of the community and help the community through NCCF. The other written communication I have is the board P&Z commission, and that has to do with being the administrator. I didn't pull it out. I thought I had it here, but the administering agency. Enough said to. I'll give you a copy of that letter, Pat, but I am going to consult with our town attorney and Jocelyn Ayer of the Litchfield County Center for Housing Opportunity regarding to see how we can handle that.
This is in regards to affordable housing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being the administering agency. Okay, on to number 7. First selectmen's report, steep grant updates. Chris?
I can give it now, or I can give it in the selectmen's.
Okay, I'll give it in, give it your selectmen's report, but let me first say we've been working on the steep grant, and I'll leave it to Chris to talk about it in his selectmen report. Winter roadway conditions, update from DPW. Look at our resident expert here. How are we looking with, we got our salt,
Yeah, oh, yeah, salt.
we have our sand.
Got a little more sand in there. Still in the budget. And I got 2 trucks slated. Those trucks are being a problem this year.
We're getting our 2 new trucks. We got to check them out before we sign off those checks. Okay. And I think with overtime, we're still in budget. We're close, very close. I know that the last time we spoke, we were 86% of our budget for overtime. I think it was about $3,000 left.
Yeah, there was.
But then we had the snowstorm over the weekend, which.
It's always on the weekend. That's.
Yeah.
About that.
How many times have I said, Tim, we got to have those snowstorms on between 7 and 3?
And maybe.
And the guys didn't know what to do there a couple of weeks ago. They had a day off.
Moving on to C, town proposed spending plan. I'm going to get together and set a special meeting for us to set some dates up once we receive all of the proposed spending plans from all the different departments. There's no sense in setting anything now until we have them all collected, and once we have them all together, we will sit down and put some dates together for the Board of Selectmen to look over, and we'll have a worksheet for us that we'll be able to look at and work. CEN update. Actually, we are scheduled for middle March to finally be connected. It's been 2 years that I've been trying to get that done. It's finally happening. Town of Canaan capital plan. Ginger, our Board of Finance Chair, Ginger Betty, and I will be working on that. Each of the departments will be bringing in your sheet for their worksheet for the capital plan. Selectmen's report. Chris, I'll start with you on the end. Oh, F, I'm sorry. I have F moved. Thank you. Also, I signed off on an extension on the funds for the Cobble Road culvert. We're still holding on to $400,000 that we have to have matching funds for to complete that culvert. Although I can tell you that updated project cost from $734,000 back when we first looked at doing it to now is well, let me just give you the numbers: $734,400 now compared to $1,164,000. That's what's going on. So with that, I will mention this again throughout the evening. Mid-March, we will be having a meeting between the Board of Finance, the Board of Selectmen, the Infrastructure Committee, open to the public, at the firehouse, with a presentation from Cardinal Engineering regarding all of our bridges, except for the Cobble Road Bridge, which is already in motion, in the design phase, or hopefully starting in the design phase more correctly.
What was that price again? 740 to how much?
It went from $734,400 to $1,164,700. That's the total. Cost. We actually have it broken down for the state. So we had those funds extended for another year. Your turn.
For the bridging infrastructure, there's a Zoom meeting tomorrow with, correct, with Connecticut engineers, some of the engineers.
With Andrew Shields and Mark Burns. They are the consultant in bridge designs, and both of them. So we'll be having a meeting with them.
And that's in regards to?
That's in regards to both of the projects, the culvert,
yeah,
and the bridge itself.
Okay, so I know there was pressure put on us to try and make a temporary repair to the big bridge. Well, this was back middle of last year, in an effort to speed up the fixing of the culvert bridge. And I have to say that, and I think we all agreed that it didn't make fiscal sense to do the spend a couple $100,000 on the big bridge just to tear it out and replace it. That would have been the town's expense. And I have to honestly say that I don't see it happening. I don't see the bridge over the Hollenbeck River. I don't see that happening inside of a year. And I think we're going to probably have to go through this whole exercise again to secure our grant. And I'm wondering if it would just make sense to allow it to go and allow somebody else to take it. The culvert grant. It doesn't, we're still solid 3 years away from replacement of the big bridge, and we've all decided that you can't do one before the other. So, unfortunately, I'm trying to be on that Zoom. If you can share that link with me, I'll be in an area. I think I'll have cell service, but I think it's important for that. And we really need to think this through a little bit more, in my opinion. We've spent a lot of money on fixing the road, and I don't want to give up on the culvert. I think we should do it, but you can't do one before the other.
Well, I think if, and I only spoke briefly to Mr. Shields, and let me correct that. we emailed back and forth. Um, and in that conversation back and forth, there's a question about the culvert and the bridge, and I can only liken it to which is going to come first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
Right. So he wanted to know the timing on that. It may be a question to us whether or not we hold on to those funds beyond this next year. But right as of this moment, it doesn't cost us anything. We still have, so to speak, money in the bank. We still have that grant. It is still there. We're able to extend it for another year. Beyond that, I don't know if it'll even be worth it, and that's something that we can discuss as we come closer to it again. But I think what we're going to have to do, quite frankly, is when we have this meeting with Cardinal and the Board of Finance, the Board of Selectmen, and the Infrastructure Committee, and the legislative body, I think we're going to have to look at where we're going to go in the future with this, because it's not just Cobble Road. It's 6 other bridges that are in poor condition that we have to look at.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be all encompassing, so to speak.
Okay, the other, did you have anything to?
Oh, no.
Okay, the Cardinal proposal was pending, I guess sometime in March. We met, this is kind of a coattail off the steep grant, which I'm gonna get to, but, committee. We met over at the, transfer station. And one of the things that outside of the grant, work that we're working on one of the things that came up was in traffic flow. And Tim was there. I think that's something that I'd like to propose to the Bridge and Infrastructure Committee with Tim and Pete Russis. Obviously, yeah, that's important to. But see if we can design or come up with a better option for that over there. I talked to Pete this weekend. And I think he's in favor of it. We just have to figure out exactly how we want to do it. I don't think it would cost anything to implement some different ideas over there. For the steep grant, work that the committee has been working on is I called today to order this 10-foot shipping container. The guy I've been talking with was off today, so I'll follow up on that tomorrow, and I'll get an email out. I spoke with Michelle about having an actual purchase order or something to pass on, but I think we'll just if your suggestion was just an email and a copy of that order. Repairs are underway at the pool house, the windows for now. Thank you to Chris Wadsworth for taking that on. The trash compactor update. We on Wednesday to try and when the grant was put together, it was done in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and it was difficult to get a lot of detail on a lot of these proposals. So now we're a year later, the escalation in costs is we're going to have to rethink how to go after that. So we got another vendor from Hampshire is going to come down. We're going to meet with them Wednesday. The salt shed, the town approved the funds for ADA. They've signed that PSA for them, the service, professional service agreement, and they'll be working on detailed survey and permitting. And the pavilion, the senior center, or the senior center work over there, and then move over to the assessor's office. We're still kind of trying to figure out how that's all. So that's it on that.
Thank you.
Just like dates with Monica Zinke. She's filling out all the paperwork for planning and zoning for change of use. That's going well. She has met with Liz and they're working well together, so I think that's gonna work out nicely. We are working with, hopefully this is happening with the Recreation Commission for the Maple Syrup Weekend. Not a lot of them with that. So that's visiting all the different sugar shacks during Maple Festival, which is March 21st through 22nd. And we got quite a few in Falls Village, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then in April, we hope to have a festival on the green, and we'll have maple syrup products and tastings and cooking and things like that, vendors. So it should be a lot of fun. And
You threw me a softball. This is going to be sticky.
and we're setting the dates for the hearings for Monica. So a couple of the people who we did not select for that place over there did reach out to me that they are interested still in coming to Falls Village. So I'm trying to find a slot for them. We'll see how that works out. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Old business, 35 Railroad Street, setting up a meeting, not this week, excuse me, like the following week, but the following week, with our attorney, Affordable Housing Plan Task Force. They should be having a meeting in a couple of weeks, a special meeting. Cobble Road Culvert and Bridge, you already have the updates. New business, tax rebates and consideration, we don't have anything. Recreation Commission. Resignation from position as a secretary from Lauren Killoway. Just read it briefly. Dear Dave, and Falls Village, members of the Falls Village, please accept this letter as my formal resignation from my position as secretary of the Falls Village Commission effective today, which was January 25th. I appreciate the opportunity and grateful for the experience and collaboration during my short time in this role. Due to a heavy workload at my job and home, I am unable to devote the time and care needed to fulfill my responsibilities. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, Lauren Killoway. We thank her for her service. She is staying on the commission. And we will be seeking a new. Okay. Do you have any favorites?
No favorites. Anybody who wants to do it and wants to put their hat in the ring can feel free to do that. We're not looking at anybody. I haven't. Great. Great.
It's kind of waiting for that. Take a motion to accept Lauren's. Well, we really don't, because it's not an official position, but it's just some discussion here, and I'm happy to hear that she is remaining on recognition. Housatonic River Commission, and we will need to take about the appointment. They have to have their meeting first. The Housatonic River Commission. Dick Hines left at the end of his term in December. And Mark Gazanski, and I know I always remember his name, was the alternate. And I'm looking for a motion to appoint Mark to fill this next term from this day forward, February 9th, 2026 to February 2029, replacing Michael Hines, whose term ended in December 2025.
Second.
All in favor? We now have an alternates position. I've had one individual ask for appointment as an alternate. And Culture Rule wants to look at being the commissioner / representative to the Housatonic River Commission from this date forward to September 7th, 2028. What he'll be doing is filling Mark's
Right.
alternate positions.
Who wants to do it?
So Mark's term is gonna be
Until
term.
a full term,
Yeah, Walter would be,
be filling the alternate term, which was Mark's term.
yeah, so moved.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Torrington Area Health District, I'd like to read Lou's letter in at this time to the Canaan Board of Selectmen, attention First Selectman, Sirs, and Madame. This is to inform you of my intent to resign from my position as the representative of the town of Canaan to the Torrington Area Health District, the TATD Board of Directors. Please consider this communication as an instrument of my resignation effective at the adjournment of the April 23rd, 2026 regular meeting. Further, if you please, I strongly recommend Mr. Eli Horowitz as my replacement. Mr. Horowitz has particular interest in serving as a member of the Torrington Area Health District Board of Directors. He has, at my invitation, attended several recent district committee meetings and board of directors meetings for orientation purposes. Also, on his own initiative, he met for briefings with both the CEO and the Director of Health and the Chairman of the Board of Directors. If it is your pleasure to appoint Mr. Horowitz as my replacement, could you make that appointment concurrent with my resignation? Since I anticipate his attendance at the April board meeting, he could then be welcomed by those present as our town's new TATD representative. Respectfully submitted, Louis G. Timmerlot. I will first take a motion to accept Lou's resignation on the 23rd with a great amount of gratitude for the service that he's rendered.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would also like to, appoint Eli Horowitz as his replacement. We will prepare a letter to the Torrington Area Health District saying such at the adjournment of the April 23rd, 2026 meeting.
Board, yeah, sure, board meeting fee. So moved.
Second.
Is there a term on that? I mean, is it end?
It's a 3-year term, but I have to check, quite frankly, I have to check where Lou is in his term. So he would fulfill that term, but we will have that clarified in the letter going to the Torrington Health District, which the three of us will sign.
Sure, if we're all good with it, then.
All in favor? Our agenda is setting a date for the public hearing relative to 107 Main Street being leased, the area formerly known as the Furnace Gallery. And I would like to propose the date of Friday, February 27th, 2026 at 6 p.m. And that would be to hear the town's plan to lease property on 107 Main Street, Falls Village, to Monica Zinke, doing business as Wild Root Wellness, a yoga studio.
And it would be here.
It would be here at the town hall.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And again, Patty, we want to capture that this is in compliance with Connecticut General Statute 7-163E.
That was the 27th, right, Dave?
27th at 6 p.m.
E and Z is the day before.
Right. So we're waiting for the P&Z to okay the use. And then we will, because we want to have our new tenant in as soon as possible. The paper has to be in 15 days before hearing, so we'll get it in sometime between the 12th and the 17th of this month. And then 2 days before, or 3 days before, on the 24th, in the Waterbury Republican.
The we've had some complaints about road conditions and it's been a tough winter. We've we're not out of the woods yet, and Tim's closing in on the month, and I just have to see that this winter reminds me of normal, of a normal winter. And we're down to 3 Sanders, right? Out of how many Sanders do you have now available? You got a couple trucks broken down, right?
Yeah.
So you have, and both of the trucks carry Sanders.
Yeah, I still got 3.
So you still have 3. Tim's done an awesome job.
Yes, he has.
Maintaining this equipment.
I got 3, I need 4.
You really need 4.
We may have one of those trucks back up.
Might not. Well, I mean, New England winter, the next storm may be, I mean, we all know the point I'm trying to get at. I think what
Spare. We had a spare.
you're using the spare.
We've given it a lot on this winter.
Yeah. So I think what I'd like to ask is that the other boards and commissions, we're at a point now where the $2 value for every dollar spent is getting harder and harder to maintain that. And we've done an awesome job. The town's done a tremendous job doing that. Sometimes you don't get the $2 value unless you spend the $2. And I would like to ask Tim to keep that in mind when you're putting your budget together, that you got a new truck, and try and figure out an alternative measure for sanding. I mean, I can't imagine going back to some of these people that have complained about the conditions of the roads and telling them, well, we do the best we can because we're down to 2 Sanders now, or whatever. They'd freak out. And I would, if that were my legitimate complaint, and it's not. But I think it's something that we have to, as a town, we have to. You can't do your job without the proper tools. I guess is what I'm saying. And,
I think that's a point very well taken. And I know that Tim meets with on a regular basis with the other highway superintendents, other highway managers in the COG. And I know that in the past, when I'm just going to fall back a few years ago, Tim, when Cornwall broke down, we were able to go over. We actually sent our trucks over to assist them. So I think in the short term, if we get caught in the short term, we would be able to do something like that and share something through the COG. So I think we'll be good. But point well taken. We're going to get 2 new trucks, and hopefully that'll put us in a good place. And then we can look at the Board of Finance and say we're going to need another new truck relatively soon. So,
Yeah, well, the ones that do the sanding are the big trucks.
right.
And that's what, we have to budget for the next purchase.
Right. I think we somewhere starting that or we're in the process. So. I think in the short term, I know that we have reached out, or I have in the past, and I know Tim has talked with the other DPW managers with the COG regarding different items that different pieces of equipment we can get from them. So I would think if we got caught short, we could.
Providing you're not, I mean, the conversation I had with someone today is, you know, these towns are suffering with breakdowns too. So,
Everyone is. You know, we really got the last couple of years have not been, you know, the hallmarks of the other winters, or this winter, I should say. You know, we've slid by. So,
yeah, that's right.
no pun intended. Yeah,
I think that's all.
thank you.
One of the trucks it's laid up, it's one of the newest. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 11 years old. That's one of our new ones.
Any other public comment?
Christine, reservation off at the last meeting, we had talked about the sidewalks and David had mentioned that we spent time looking into it. Has anything been done to address that? I mean, I saw someone fall the other night over by the inn on the town sidewalk. And I walked on it myself the next night and it's slippery. I mean, what is the plan to make sure no one else gets hurt because it is an issue.
I'll tell you, it's quite interesting. Number one, Tim has been out sanding and salting, or I should say salting the sidewalks. Okay. And I've seen him doing it. And again, when he gets a call, he does go out there and takes care of it. There's also a question we might want to look at, and I need to look back at what previous administrations had done, actually going back to administrations regarding sidewalks, because a couple people had brought articles to my attention that in most towns and cities, the homeowner is responsible.
Town of Canaan agrees to maintain the sidewalks.
I know.
They got the grant to put the sidewalks in.
I know. But I have to read over that language, and I need to speak with our town attorney regarding it, seeing where we are.
I got a suggestion. Put those trees down in front of the inn, maybe the sun will melt the ice.
There's a, like, gutter or something that comes out right there too. I believe, washing a gutter
But
over the building that comes over.
But-
It doesn't matter.
No. That's what I was going to say, Denise. In the short term, okay, if we know about it, if Tim gets a call or if I get a call, I'm going to call Tim and he's going to go out there and put salt on it. That's above and beyond, and he salts them every time that he plows them. No, and nor am I. Right.
People are getting hurt.
Right. So the other thing that we probably should do is, if we see an area, we'll take it off also. So until we can get salt on. That's what they do in a lot of the larger cities. So,
Today with the Ampadillion, it's good.
yeah. I mean, I can't guarantee it all the time. I have to admit, don't walk downtown as much as I used to when my dog was younger. To do it. All right. I know that when it's called for our attention. Okay. No. That's right.
I think if you look at the agreement, had lots of sidewalks, not that just maintain. I think it says, and that people that live there have to also participate. And there's no guarantee that they're going to be fair and clean.
We probably should have it.
You'd be crazy to sign an agreement.
So-
The road. There's no agreement like that. It's winter.
Any other comments? Steve Dean.
I have a question. The increase. Cover, that's something that you got from,
Barbara. Yes.
did they send it to you, or did you ask for it?
What happened was I get a notice from DOT, and from Andrew Keenan's office and Mark Berner's office, wanting to know if we wanted to have an extension made. And we've used Cardinal in the past. Cardinal was our original engineer looking at it, so they prepared it, and so that's where we are.
Okay. So, with that increase, what was our split with the state? Was it 50/50?
50-50.
Is that in?
Does that go with the increase of the amount, or is it what we?
Now, my understanding, and this is something that we're going to clarify tomorrow, we still have 400,000, which, because the original was 734,000. Okay, and 400,000 if you did like round food, so 400,000 was significant.
So we jumped up to, so have we gotta go through the grant process again?
My understanding, well, this is what I'll learn tomorrow. Mr. Burns, Mr. Hewitt.
With the increases like that, I wouldn't get rid of the grant. Don't handle it. I'm not 100% sure that we can't do some sort. We should be able to do some sort of temporary bridge. When I talked to Cardinal, they mentioned something, it was only gonna take 2 weeks to actually have the road open. So we may be able to find a temporary bridge to be available. So in that time period, I wouldn't get rid of the grant.
No, I'm not. I just applied for another year's extension. Okay, and the other thing, again, as I had mentioned before, in each, they would be giving a presentation. Okay, and I just learned that we thought it was going to be at the end of February. Unfortunately, one of the engineers that we deal with had surgery. Took him a little bit longer. God bless, than he thought. They're putting something together, and then we thought early March, and then they just wanted to put together a very, very comprehensive PowerPoint presentation regarding the bridges, and of course, the big bridge, if you will, were in the process.
The other thing, Tim, you're putting straight salt in the sidewalks, or is it sand mix? Salt. Maybe sand to help traction. Sand. If there's ice.
Anything else?